I never thought I would see the day that so many would commit so much propaganda in such a short period of time. It literally boggles the mind to watch people like Barbara Boxer, the loudest mouth of all, the most anti-gun, anti-war, anti-police, loudmouth yenta in the history of the Senate, rushing to sign up your son to go die over Syria. To watch John McCain say, I'm not signing on the dotted line because it's not a wide enough war for me. To watch that hooded-eye, lantern-jaw John Kerry say that the Arabs will pay for the war, turning us into nothing but mercenaries or Hessians or whores for the Arab oil interests. And Obama saying, I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. Again, the big lie, something out of Mao Zedong's China. It's a propaganda unlike any I've ever seen in my life. I was upset for the 60 or 80 days that Clinton bombed Serbia, but I've never been as agitated as I am tonight, watching the full court press, the warmongers, the hate mongers, the liars, the outright liars, dragging America's sons into war. I've never seen anything like it. There's no wisdom in attacking Syria, no wisdom whatsoever. I want to tell you right now, I'm an anti-war conservative. I am an anti-war conservative, and where are the anti-war liberals? There are a few around. Tell me what it's going to do for the situation. I'm going to give you a phone number, then I'm going to play some sound. The phone number to this show is 855-400-7282. I have a rousing show for you tonight because I'm aroused. And when I'm psychically aroused, you will be psychically aroused. If you care to join the conversation, the phone number is 855-400-7282. In the first hour, we're going to do the war. In the second hour, I'm moving on to an atrocity unlike anything seen in your lifetime called the rape of Nanking, when 300,000 Chinese were raped, burnt alive, beheaded, humiliated by Japanese troops. And the reason I'm going to talk about the rape of Nanking is to put things in context for the listeners, and also to put out a sort of a cautionary warning as to what an ancient nation like China is probably going to do one day to get even for the rape of Nanking. They have a long memory. We don't. This nation has no memory whatsoever. This is a nation with Alzheimer's disease. This nation has no past. This nation seems to have no future. This nation seems to only have a present, and it has a propaganda ministry unlike anything I've ever seen in my lifetime. The unwisdom of attacking Syria has been written. Tonight it will be spoken. So let us begin with the lantern-jawed, hooded-eyed, ketchup king, John Kerry.
With respect to Arab countries offering to bear cost and to assist, the answer is profoundly yes, they have. That offer is on the table. With respect to boots on the ground, profoundly no. There will be no boots on the ground. The president has said that again and again.
Oh,
and there is nothing in this authorization that should contemplate it. Should. We reiterate, no boots on the ground.
Well, we don't know what action we're engaged in right now, but they've been quite significant. I mean, very significant. Mm-hmm. In fact, some of them have said that if the United States is prepared to go do the whole thing the way we've done it previously in other places, they'll carry that cost. That's how dedicated they are to this. Obviously, that's not in the cards, and nobody's talking about it.
Well, you're talking about it right now, John.
In serious ways about getting this job done.
Getting this job done. Don't you love when warmongers speak in acronyms? Lebensraum. Getting this job done. Do you even know what Lebensraum means? It was only living space that Hitler needed for Germany. It wasn't war. They needed to get the job done. Well, they needed living space for the expanding German people, the expanding German population. They didn't mean to hurt the Poles or those in Czechoslovakia. They just needed living space. See, living space, that's all it was. It wasn't really war. And this is not really war. This is actually love. What Obama and Kerry and Boxer and Feinstein and McCain and the others, the warmongers, the mad people, are doing is not war at all. It's love. It's peace. They're doing it for the sake of humanity. Again, the phone number is 855-400-7282. We have another doozy for you, which is the king has no clothes himself when he says, I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. This This is propaganda unlike any I've ever heard. It's twisting a lie into a bigger lie. Listen to clip number 2.
First of all, I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. The world set a red line when governments representing 98% of the world's population said the use of chemical weapons are abhorrent and passed a treaty forbidding their use even when countries are engaged in war.
Then why didn't you say anything when Bill Clinton used chemical weapons in Waco, Texas, for example? That's number 1. Number 2, who used the chemical weapons? We don't know who fired the canisters. We have no definitive proof. The UN hasn't given us the report. There are those who say that the rebels did it themselves to marshal world sympathy and world opinion on their side. And what an attack on Syria, on Assad, will do is encourage Islamist groups around the world that if they want the U.S. to act as their mercenary army and navy, all they have to do is stage a gas attack anywhere on the planet and blame it on whatever government they want to overthrow, right? And by the way, while you're thinking about it, what do you think is going to happen to the Christian community in Syria and the Jewish community in Syria? The Jews in power seem to be wanting war. I've never seen anything like this. I was shocked when I woke up this morning, frankly, and I clicked on my website and I clicked on the Drudge Report and I said, what? Sheldon Adelson? Sheldon Adelson, the billionaire from Las Vegas who was vehemently anti-Obama. Sheldon Adelson, who put, I don't know how many millions behind that toad, Newt Gingrich, is now backing war, trying to ram the war down the throat, along with other major league Jewish groups backing a strike on Syria. I said, what the hell is happening to the Jewish leadership in this country? Have they lost their damn minds? Have they lost their damn minds? I asked myself this morning. And that's when I knew I had to be on the air tonight. It is the Rosh Hashanah tonight. Jews around the world are celebrating this. Maybe even Mr. Adelson is eating a lovely meal somewhere in Las Vegas. I hope he's enjoying it. I hope that the other leaders of the Jewish world are enjoying, well, actually, it's way past dinner time. Maybe some of them are in their cars listening to the Savage Nation on the way home. Maybe they don't understand what I'm saying to them. So maybe I'll say it a little more clearly. 5,774 years in the Jewish calendar. And this is the best we can do? This is the best we can do, is push America into a war for reasons we don't even understand. We don't even know who launched the chemical weapons. So it's not really about chemical weapons, is it? No. I've been trying to tell you that I don't think it is. I think it's about competing natural gas pipelines. Now, the leftists were fanatically anti-Iraq war. They said no war for oil. They had a nice, screaming fit on that, and they had no war for oil bumper stickers. We haven't seen no war for gas bumper stickers yet. People may not understand it because they've seen the pictures of the dead children. And they're horrible pictures, admittedly, but we still don't know who launched the gas. That's number one. Number two, we don't know what the results will be of an open-ended bombing campaign. And you have Madman McCain as much as admitting he's not happy with a limited strike. He doesn't want a surgical strike, Madman McCain. Madman McCain wants a wider war. So I ask, why doesn't McCain have his daughter join the military? She can get off the talk show circuit. She's not being booked anymore anyway. She turned out to be just a useful hack for the time she was used. She could enlist in the military. I'm sure he has enough connections to make her into a lieutenant colonel literally overnight. And since Kerry is so gung-ho on war, I think he can search around in the Ketchup Kingdom, either within his family or his wife's family, and have some of the boys of military age put down the ecstasy and pick up a gun and go fight for America. Or Pelosi, after all, she consulted with a 5-year-old granddaughter. And in the wisdom of the granddaughter, she found the excuse to go to war. Then, of course, there's Barbara Boxer, the foaming-at-the-mouth leftist fanatic who is now a warmonger. She certainly has people of military age in her family. They could put down their law degrees and go join the military.